Hi, I'm David. I'd like to share with you a little diagram about how we interact as married couples and how we can go from having an unhealthy relationship to having something that's a whole lot more healthy. What we have is that so many couples will come into me for counseling and they will say, this is how we are today. And most often what they'll do is they'll tell me about all this unhealthy stuff that's in their marriage, grievances against one another, problems that they haven't resolved, all kinds of garbage, emotional garbage and that kind of thing. And they come in and say, David, can you help me fix this? Well, one of the first things that I want to ask them to tell me about is, what is it that's healthy about your marriage? Now, most couples have more difficulty telling me this than they have telling me this because they've been dwelling with this and wrestling with it and thinking about it more and more and more and more and more. But I really want them to focus on some of the healthy parts of their relationship as well. And what I tell them is that what our goal is in counseling is to, as a matter of fact, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Let's bring this healthy stuff over into this new relationship that we can have. And then what we have to do is we have to find a way to fill this part of it with healthy stuff. And it becomes a wonderful process of working through issues and dealing with them honestly, talking about all these different kind of things and what we can do differently rather than what we used to do. One of the things we talk an awful lot about is it would be a terrible thing for me to expect you to go back to this relationship because there is so much unhealthiness in the relationship. So why don't we create something that's much, much healthier instead? So what we do is we talk about prayer's role. We talk about the role that therapy has. And we even talk about the role that forgiveness has in this process of moving from here over to here. One last thing that I think is so important to talk about is the remonstrance to do something different even if it's wrong. Now, don't do something wrong just because it's different, but do something different even if it's wrong. And if it works, we can put this new thing in here. If it just doesn't seem to work, that's fine. Now at least we know two things that don't work. One of my great heroes is J.C. Penney. Another one is Edison. Another one is Abraham Lincoln. What we know about each of their lives is that they had many, many, many successive failures. And instead of thinking of themselves as failures, though, with each one of those failures, they thought, well, I'm this much closer to finding something that will work. Now, what I want us to do in our work together in helping couples to move from this to this is realize that there are many wonderful things that really and truly can work to help you have a healthy marriage and family rather than staying with this. Matter of fact, the couples who stay with this, statistically, we know a great many of them do end up in divorce courts. But with prayer, with good therapy, and with making sure that we practice forgiveness, and we start dwelling on the things that are right and lovely and excellent and healthy in our marriage, we can find other things to fill this block that also make it healthy. One last thing to remember, there still are some things out here where we haven't filled this square yet. And what we talk about in counseling here is this is some room for growth. You can enlarge on some of these things, you can enlarge on some of these things, and you can make your marriage grow and grow and grow in healthy ways rather than grow in unhealthy ways. So I hope this little model will help you understand that you can move from a position where there's mostly unhealthiness in your relationship to where it can be a wonderfully happy and healthy kind of relationship.